Caitlin Clark's injury busted huge WNBA myth at All-Star Weekend, says reporter. The ticket prices plummeting by 70% for the Fever vs. Sky game was caution enough when Caitlin Clark announced, "I can't participate in the three-point contest or the All-Star game." Word had it that the hotels were booked out the moment Clark and Indy for the biggest event in the W calendar was announced last year. But was the audience swayed when the biggest disappointment came their way? If you ask no off-season podcast hosts, there was a hint of something much bigger. Something Sue Bird had concerns about, from StudBudz live streaming to players rocking the orange carpet, and Nike, Gatorade, CeraVe's loud investments headlining the games. This All-Star weekend marked a major cultural shift. In Kelsey Plum's words, by far it was the most packed, not just from the game's standpoint, but three-point contest, skills contest. The orange carpet was live. That was the same sentiment echoed by no off-season podcast co-host Ben Pickman, who was on the ground for the events. I think there was a little bit of caution heading into the weekend once Caitlin Clark was ruled out with an injury of just what would the energy be like. You started. What would it feel like to walk the streets in the arena out on the town as you talk to people, fans, anybody who was there? But the concerns were quick to be put to rest. There were events at every corner, makeshift courts on the streets, interactive activities, and art installations that livened up the city like no other. Pickman doesn't deny that Clark's absence was felt, but, like, the energy was awesome. And you felt it when you watched WNBA live. It seemed like the people were waiting 30 minutes or more to meet their favorite players. He added, yes, the ticket prices once again plummeted when the reigning roadie withdrew from the game, but the audience still showed up. The Gamebridge Fieldhouse was packed, and about 2.2 million viewers tuned in from afar. That was 36% down from last year, but best of the last 3 times an All-Star game crossed the million viewers mark. Moreover, the three-point contest and skills challenge the night before averaged 1.3 million, up 89% from last year. All that when Caitlin Clark wasn't playing. But the best part? The atmosphere in Indy took Pickman back to the Final Four frenzy, and co-host Zayn Akeda couldn't have been more elated. Because while the hooping community has largely been receptive of college basketball, it hasn't always transcended to the pro league. Sue Bird was candid about it just last year, saying it wasn't the same platform as college basketball. The lack of media coverage, the empty seats, minimum viewership, it was hard to take in. But the league seems to be crossing that threshold. When it came to the popularity of the WNBA versus the popularity of the college game, the ability to connect, the ability to bridge that same love and appreciation, to get it to transcend to WNBA was tough. But now it feels as if it's there, Kata declared. Sure, Caitlin Clark helped bring the surge, and her appearance still dictates ratings, but they aren't all depending on her anymore. Fans are staying back to look at the rest, and it is becoming evident, slow as it may be. All that only scratching the surface beliefs uttered out loud last year, including by the Fever sensation herself, have aged well.